Looking for the laziest way to eat more fiber this year? Then stay tuned for this Trader Joe's haul of prepared foods that all have 5 grams of fiber per serving. Today I'm only going to bore you with one fiber fact. According to the Mayo Clinic, here is the recommended daily amount of fiber you should be getting by sex and by age. So let's say you want to try and meet these fiber intake goals. If you're like me, when you Google high fiber diets, you get a lot of lists and infographics of things like apples, pears, oatmeal, popcorn, chia seeds, which is great information to have if you want to incorporate more of those foods when you come across them. However, a lot of the lists and infographics that I saw measured fiber either by 100 grams of food or may not give you a realistic serving size. So you may end up eating way less fiber than you're intending to. Many search results I came across listed the amount of fiber in one pear, which for me is really helpful information because one pear is all the pear I'm going to eat today. And I also found out that the amount of fiber in 100 grams of popcorn is 10 grams of fiber, which is a lot of fiber and might be around a third to 50% of your daily fiber intake goals. That's 9 to 10 cups of popcorn. And I don't like popcorn that much. Or maybe you don't cook that much, so maybe a list of individual foods isn't necessarily helpful to you. Or maybe you want to increase your fiber intake, but don't want to look up the fiber content of every single food you use. Which is why each item I show you today is at least 5 grams of fiber per serving. And let's be real for a second. Serving sizes listed on a package do not indicate how much food you need. Need for your health, need for your activity level, or your satiety. It just may not reflect a realistic portion size for you. Regardless of whether or not you actually want to go by the serving size, you will know that each one of these foods is giving you more fiber than the average product. For instance, the organic red lentil sedanini has 6 grams of fiber per 3/4 cup serving, but a wheat-based pasta only has 1 gram of fiber per 1 cup serving. So whether you want to be counting the amount of fiber that you're intaking or not, you know with these foods, you'll be getting much more fiber than you may be getting with its alternative. So here are some notes on fiber. All bodies are different and all fiber isn't necessarily good for every body. There are a number of conditions that can make it difficult for a person to tolerate fiber. And in general, not all people can tolerate all types of fiber. Also, if you're introducing more fiber to your diet, especially in the form of supplements and dried fruits, remember to increase your water intake. We use fiber to make it a little easier for us to poop, but increasing fiber without also increasing water can result in or exacerbate constipation. So I like to think of fiber and water being best friends. It's going to make everything happen more smoothly for most people. Now that we have all that out of the way, let's talk about the food. Let's start with breakfast. So I was not a big fan of the old school overnight oats that Trader Joe's had. These new ones they have, I really, really love. I only got these 3. 6 grams of fiber for the vanilla, 5 grams of fiber for the apple, and 8 grams of fiber for the almond butter chia. I've only tried the vanilla and I think there was strawberry at one point. All these flavors have over 4 grams of fiber, but these are the highest. But the almond butter chia has a whopping 8 grams of fiber in one serving. That's crazy. Okay, next up. So these are new to me, these whole grain waffles. 6 grams of fiber for 3 waffles in these. I'm really excited to try these. I haven't had waffles in a long time. The mango blueberry chia bowl. This has 9 grams of fiber in this one serving. You have mango, coconut cream, chia seeds, blueberries, passion fruit juice, water, and mango. And it's just for one bowl. Let's look at it. Pretty big little chia bowl. And then this you can just either defrost it or microwave it. But wow, that could be, depending on who you are or where you're from, that could be almost 50% of your daily fiber that you're trying to get in. Just in this one, just a breakfast. Okay, let's talk Indian food. Trader Joe's has a lot of ready-to-eat Indian food, which is awesome because when you're short on cash or short on energy, time, but want something that's more like takeout, the Indian food options are really incredible at Trader Joe's. Each package, whether it's the shelf-stable bags or the frozen options, most of them are like 2 servings per container. Some of them are just full meals, so they have the rice and then the main part of the meal. And I would say that the majority of these have legumes in them, so that's probably where they're getting a lot of their fiber. And then most of them are vegetarian. There are plenty of vegan options amongst that too. So what I'm going to show you today, let's first go with the shelf-stable options. The Madras Lentils. There's 2 servings in this container, and for 1 serving, there's 5 grams of fiber. And this one is vegetarian, so it has dairy in it. And then also the Kitchari, and this has 6 grams of fiber, and the serving size is 1 package. It has legumes, but it is more grain-based. Pearl millet, mung bean, pumpkin, brown rice, green peas, oat, amaranth, finger millet. There's a lot of whole grains and some legumes in this one. And then the frozen stuff I found was this Channa Masala, and this is 2 servings, and 1 serving has 7 grams of fiber, and that's coming from those chickpeas, of course. The vegetable Biryani, which has 6 grams of fiber per serving, and again, 2 servings in the package. I don't remember seeing this one before, but it has vegetable dumplings in it. So this also has legumes. It has lima beans. It also has green peas, cabbage, red bell pepper, cauliflower, carrots, raisins, cashews. But this isn't in itself could easily be a meal. And this one is vegan. So I believe this Baingan Bharta is new, but this is an eggplant-based dish. No rice, there's no legumes. It's basically onions, eggplant, tomato puree, spices, tomato, cream, chili pepper, more herbs. And this is vegetarian because it contains milk, of course. This has 6 grams of fiber per serving. Again, there's 2 in this package, but for me, realistically, I'm going to eat this myself, this entire package, and also maybe, in the frozen aisle or in the bread, you can find naan. If you want to add rice to this instead of naan, you can do that. Have both. I don't care what you do in your life, but for me, this is definitely 1 serving in and of itself. Do you have a favorite Trader Joe's Indian food? Because I have not tried them all, and there's really so many. I'm sure they're not authentic, but for just warming something up at home, I feel like they're pretty good. This may also be new in the freezer section. The roasted seasoned Brussels sprouts with Parmesan cheese. And this is just grilled Brussels sprouts, Parmesan cheese, oil, flavor, other spices, and random stuff. That's really not adding any bulk at all. This has 4 servings per container, but 1 serving is a cup of Brussels sprouts, and that has 8 grams of fiber per serving. And this is just a side. And again, I might do half of this as my vegetable, depending on how hungry I am. Another new frozen option is the chicken burrito bowl. It has chicken breast, brown rice, black beans, red quinoa, cheddar cheese, corn, and a chipotle sauce. And so for this bowl, is just 1 serving. That's your meal. I mean, you can eat more, you can eat less. I don't know your life. This is 9 grams of fiber. So that could be almost 50% of your daily fiber intake goal. Another new to me, ready to eat option is this white bean chicken and chili soup. This has 2 servings in it, which is 6 grams of fiber per serving. And this has beans, corn, chicken. It also has dairy, peppers. It's not a really thick and creamy soup necessarily. And it didn't really seem like it was full of beans and corn. It certainly wasn't a stew or anything super thick, but I'm surprised to read that there was that much fiber. This one is another new to me option. Greek chickpeas, parsley, and cumin. And again, this is 2 servings in a container, and in 1 serving is 8 grams of fiber. I haven't tried these yet. I'm really excited, and I love that they're a shelf-stable option. They look like something that would be good to throw in soups, on salads, warm up as a hot side. So these next ones are my favorites. These are staples for me in my home. We have vegan stuff, we have vegetarian stuff, and they often end up in my fridge. So this first one is the steamed lentils. You can find these in the produce section. It has lentil salt, essential oils like cloves, laurel, thyme, pepper, and garlic. They are seasoned minimally, and they're fully cooked. We are going to make a recipe with these later, but they're a great option. And for half a cup of serving, which, for some of us, that might be a lot of lentils. What do I do with these lentils besides put them in soup or use them as a side? I'll show you one way at the end, but for half a cup of these lentils is 6 grams of fiber. Plus, there's a hefty amount of protein in there as well. So these 2 items, again, staples. I love these things. They have a surprising amount of protein. But the first one is the Artichoke Timbales. I don't know how to say this. They're like little souffles. That's going too far. Quiches, frittatas, have egg, cheese, artichoke. And for each one of these is 5 grams of protein. Now, I don't normally eat just one of these. I usually have, if I'm having just a small lunch, I'll have 2 of them, maybe a side or a salad or something. 5 grams of fiber. Have I been saying protein this whole time? God, I hope not. Again, 5 grams of fiber per little cup guy. You can see on the front of the package, but they're about this big. If you have any other foods with artichokes in them from Trader Joe's that you love, tell me about them, because I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that they're high fiber, and I love that they taste good, and I love that you can put them in all kinds of things. Okay, so this last one was very surprising to me. I love this. I'm not vegan or vegetarian. I love these so much. I'm gonna get a little emotional, I think. This Korean beefless bulgogi. I'm obsessed. It's so good. If anybody ever wants to call me up and talk about the Korean beefless bulgogi from Trader Joe's, I'm willing to talk. It has a smoky flavor. It tastes like it's been grilled. There are 3 servings in this package. You know, again, these serving sizes are not it. If this is gonna be a source of protein for my husband, I'm gonna give him probably half the package. More filling that way, it's more usable in just applications, like if I'm gonna make a wrap or something with it. It's going to fill more space, right? So for 1 serving, there's 5 grams of fiber in this, and there's also 16 grams of protein. Soy sauce, pear puree, onion, apple puree, sugar, cornstarch, ginger, green onion, blah, blah, blah. Textured soy protein is what makes the meat part. So in that textured soy protein, there is soy protein isolate, rice flour, wheat gluten, and all of those things probably also contribute to the amount of fiber that's in this. Am I saying protein? Have I been saying protein this whole time? This is why you need a script. This was something that was really surprising, that I love, that's in my freezer all the time. It's not a grain, it's not a legume, it's not produce. So it was just fun to find that, you know, a protein source could have that much fiber. So more things you can find in the freezer section are these cauliflower gnocchi. They've been around for a long, long time. This is as 2.5 servings. Again, this would just be 1. I'm not trying to be measuring anything, honestly. But 1 serving has 6 grams of protein. No. Why do I keep saying protein? So some honorable mentions that are not here with us today are things like Psyllium Husk. Trader Joe's has sold Psyllium Husk. I'm not going to tell you a lot about it because honestly I don't know. I just know it's the husk of something, but it is a fiber supplement. So with Psyllium Husk, I mean, I think it's a Metamucil, or it is Metamucil. With something like that, like it's dry powder or dried husks. So you could put this in a smoothie, or I guess you could put it in like a chia seed pudding. You could add Psyllium Husk to thicken things because the husks absorb a bunch of water. I remember I made a smoothie with it once and I took it to work. It was lunchtime and I opened up my smoothie. It was so thick because normally I drink it right away. Not that day. That day I had pudding. I think it's a great fiber supplement. There's no flavor, but that's something you absolutely want to stick to the serving size or less and incorporate water in it. So make a pudding, put it in a smoothie, drink a glass of water with it. When you were talking about fiber supplements, more is absolutely not better. It is better to get your fiber from food because with most things it's coming with water with it. You know? Artichoke hearts. So we saw artichoke in those timbales. Can't be timbales. That's stupid. But artichoke hearts, you can buy a can at Trader Joe's. You can buy a jar of marinated artichoke hearts. I really love artichoke hearts because they're not super filling. I think most people want to be filled by food, maybe so they eat less, but I like artichoke hearts because they don't fill me up, which means I can eat more. Like as far as like fiber-rich food is concerned, I think it's fun that there's one that's not like super starchy either. That isn't a whole grain, that isn't a legume. So that I like to incorporate artichoke hearts in salads and all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff is mainly just different salads. Let's be honest. Stop overselling it, okay? And a third, like honorable mention, is their high fiber cereal. And this high fiber cereal looks high fiber. I want to be clear. It looks healthy. They also look like little poops. Edit that out. Nobody wants to know that. But I remember liking it a lot, and it tells you what it is. You can always add sugar if you want to taste less healthy, I guess. For 1 serving, which I think was like 3/4 of a cup. Why does cereal have the most unrealistic serving sizes? Truly. 2/3 of a cup, labeled as having 9 grams of fiber per serving. That's a lot of fiber, man. Today we're going to make a recipe. It's on the Trader Joe's website. It's called the 1-minute lentil salad. And this salad is so good. It like doesn't even make sense to me. Every time I eat it, I cannot stop. And it has protein, a lot of fiber, and I think it's just a really great and tasty way to get your fiber in. Again, once I pop, I cannot stop eating this. Some people use it as a dip. Some people use it as a salad. I just use it as a whole meal, and I eat a lot of it, and it's delicious, and I love it. So let's go. So this is the 1-minute lentil salad by Trader Joe's. A friend told me about this. It was like something they were tasting in the store, but you can find it on the Trader Joe's website. It's really easy. Can't even call this a recipe. I'm not even sure. It's too simple. So all you need is a package of steamed lentils, a container of the bruschetta sauce, the crumbled feta cheese. You can absolutely forget the feta cheese if you don't want that. If you've never had the bruschetta sauce, this is so flavorful. I've only ever eaten this with bread or lentils, to be honest. Maybe pasta once, but apparently that was forgettable. Wasn't very good. For yourselves, lentils. And then the bruschetta sauce. I've already opened this because I needed a bite because it's delicious. And you're going to include the juice in this. The juice, oily juice, because that's going to help season all the lentils too. If you've ever shopped at Trader Joe's, you know how difficult it can be to get this film off. So every time I open a Trader Joe's product, I wonder if today will be the day when I'm blessed with easily opening a Trader Joe's product. Oh, apparently today was the day. Look at that. This never happens. The full recipe is basically 1 container of each of these. So a full container of lentils, a full container of the bruschetta dip, 6 ounces of crumbled feta cheese, okay, moment of truth. Let's eat it. Let's try it. You can make it prettier by putting a garnish on it. It's honestly not very pretty. I mix mine up pretty good, but that bruschetta sauce is so flavorful, super garlicky, and then you get a funk with the cheese. I don't think I'll ever get tired of this, honestly. Honestly, you cannot taste the lentils. I can't taste the lentils. Maybe you can. I mean, you still gotta chew the lentils. You know the lentils are there, but the other flavors are so big. I just think it's a great way to hide lentils. You want to get more fiber, you're having trouble. You know, I'm not going to force anyone to like lentils, but I mean, except my husband. Sorry, I make lentils and then he eats them. It's a great way to get more lentils without feeling like, oh, I have to eat lentils or more beans and that's not exciting. It's a great idea. I make it all the time. I love it to death. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found a new fibrous food. That sounds very appetizing. I hope you found a new food to try at Trader Joe's that is going to help you reach your fiber goals if you're into that. If not, I don't know why you're here right now. Bye! I've recorded this whole video covered in ketchup.